You are about to start a clear and direct plan to rebuild your life quietly and grow stronger every day. This audio will show practical steps you can use right now to change the way you think, act and recover from setbacks. Picture a quiet room early in the morning, the cool air, the steady rhythm of your breath, and the simple decision to take one useful action before anything else begins. That small choice starts real change. Expect honest guidance on how to shape your mindset, form durable habits, remove draining people, and build focus so your energy goes where it matters most. You will hear concrete methods for self-discipline, routines that stick, and ways to recover faster after hard moments. The voice here is calm and firm, and it will walk you through exercises and small tests you can try immediately. You will feel tension ease, confidence grow, and motivation move from idea into work. This audio also covers how to invest in your skills, manage your thoughts to stay on task, and use solitude as a tool for planning, not as escape. It explains how to act boldly in practical steps so progress builds momentum and others begin to notice real results. Every chapter gives usable actions, not vague pep talk. So time spent listening becomes time spent changing. If there is a part of you that is tired of small talk, empty promises, and quick fixes, this recording offers steady work and clear progress. Stay with this audio to learn what to do today, tomorrow, and every week after to rise with purpose and leave silence as proof of the work you did while others doubted. Chapter 1. Strengthen your mindset to overcome all obstacles immediately. Strengthening your mindset is the cornerstone of any meaningful transformation. Life is unpredictable, and obstacles are inevitable. The difference between someone who falters in the face of difficulty and someone who rises stronger lies entirely in their mindset. A strong mindset allows you to confront challenges with clarity, focus, and unwavering determination. It is not something you are born with. It is something you develop consciously, step by step, through intention, practice, and relentless commitment to self-mastery. Your mindset shapes how you interpret every situation. When difficulty arises, a weak mindset sees only failure and limitation. A strong mindset sees opportunity and growth. It allows you to pause, assess the circumstances, and respond strategically rather than reacting impulsively. To strengthen your mindset, the first step is understanding that every obstacle is temporary. Nothing lasts forever, and nothing can stop you permanently unless you give it power over you. Challenges are not barriers. They are tests of your character. Each challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were before. Start by taking full responsibility for your life. This is not about blame or guilt. It is about acknowledging that your thoughts, decisions, and actions determine the outcomes you experience. When you stop blaming circumstances, other people, or luck, you regain control. This is the foundation of mental strength. Every person who has achieved extraordinary success understands this principle. They do not wait for favorable conditions to act. They act despite unfavorable conditions. They take ownership of their progress and refuse to let external factors dictate their mindset or outcomes. To cultivate this ownership, begin with your daily thoughts. Monitor your internal dialogue. Notice how often negative self-talk enters your mind. Phrases like "I can't," "I'm not ready," or "this is impossible" slowly erode your confidence and reinforce limitations. Replace these thoughts deliberately with constructive statements. "I can find a way," "I will learn what is necessary," and "I can overcome this" become the new language of your mind. The more consistently you practice this, the more natural it becomes. It is not about pretending that life is easy. It is about training your brain to focus on solutions rather than problems. Visualization is a powerful tool for strengthening your mindset. Take time each day to picture yourself succeeding in your goals. Imagine yourself facing obstacles and navigating them with confidence and skill. Feel the emotions associated with triumph. Your brain cannot distinguish between imagined success and real success when you do this consistently. Visualization creates a blueprint in your mind that prepares you for action and fosters unwavering belief in your ability to overcome adversity. Combine visualization with clear, specific goals. A vague desire to improve is not enough. Define exactly what overcoming your obstacles looks like and identify the steps necessary to reach that point. Break your larger challenges into smaller, manageable actions. Success is built one deliberate step at a time. Another essential aspect of a strong mindset is resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover quickly from setbacks without losing motivation or confidence. It is built by intentionally placing yourself in situations that challenge you and force you to adapt. Seek out experiences that push your limits physically, mentally, and emotionally. Learn to embrace discomfort as a teacher rather than an enemy. When you willingly face small challenges, you train your mind to handle larger ones. Over time, setbacks no longer feel paralyzing. You respond with calm determination instead of fear or frustration. Discipline is the engine that drives a strong mindset. Without consistent action, knowledge alone is useless. Discipline is what allows you to follow through on difficult tasks, even when you do not feel like it. It is developed through repeated, intentional practice. Start with small commitments. Wake up at the same time daily. Follow a structured routine. Complete the tasks you have set for yourself regardless of mood or circumstance. Every time you honor a commitment to yourself, you reinforce your mental strength. These small victories compound, creating a mindset that thrives on consistency and accountability. Managing emotions is another critical component. A strong mindset does not eliminate emotions. It controls how you respond to them. Anger, fear, and frustration are natural, but letting them dictate your decisions weakens your mental resilience. Practice observing your emotions without judgment. Notice how they arise, identify their triggers, and choose responses that align with your goals. Techniques like deep breathing, meditation, and reflective journaling help you develop this level of emotional control. When your emotions are managed, your mind remains clear and focused, enabling rational decision-making under pressure. Surround yourself with people who reinforce a strong mindset. The influence of others cannot be underestimated. Individuals who are negative, critical, or defeatist can subtly undermine your mental strength over time. Conversely, people who are disciplined, focused, and growth-oriented will inspire and challenge you to rise to higher levels. Choose your environment carefully. Invest in relationships that elevate you rather than drain you. Seek mentors and peers who embody the mindset and qualities you aspire to develop. Their presence will serve as both motivation and accountability. Continuous learning strengthens your mind by keeping it adaptable and informed. A fixed mindset believes that abilities are static and unchangeable. A growth-oriented mindset understands that improvement is always possible. Commit to reading, studying, and acquiring new skills that enhance your ability to overcome obstacles. Knowledge equips you with options, perspective, and solutions. The more you know, the more confident you become in navigating challenges. Adopt the habit of lifelong learning. Let curiosity and deliberate practice guide your journey toward mastery. Physical health also influences mental strength. The body and mind are deeply interconnected. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest sharpen cognitive function, reduce stress, and increase endurance for facing challenges. When your body is prepared, your mind operates at peak performance. Strengthening your physical resilience directly reinforces mental resilience. Treat your body as a critical tool in building your mindset, not as a secondary concern. Adversity often exposes weaknesses in our mindset, but it also reveals hidden strengths. Shift your perspective to view obstacles as tests rather than punishments. Ask yourself what lessons are available in each situation. What skills can be strengthened? What patience can be cultivated? What problem-solving strategies can be refined? Each challenge carries the potential for personal growth. By focusing on these opportunities instead of setbacks, you reframe difficulty as a catalyst for transformation rather than a source of despair. Taking immediate action reinforces your mindset more than anything else. Thinking about change is not enough. Action builds confidence, competence, and momentum. Start with the most immediate obstacle in front of you. Identify one step you can take today to move closer to overcoming it. Do it. Observe the results. Learn from them, and take another step. Momentum grows with each deliberate action, and your belief in your ability to overcome challenges strengthens exponentially. Persistence is non-negotiable. A strong mindset refuses to quit despite repeated failures or delays. Every successful individual has faced moments when giving up seemed easier. What separates those who achieve lasting results is the refusal to surrender. Persistence is cultivated by setting clear priorities, maintaining focus on long-term goals, and continuously pushing forward regardless of temporary setbacks. Your mindset is reinforced each time you choose persistence over surrender. Gratitude enhances mental strength by keeping your focus on growth and opportunity rather than lack and limitation. Reflect daily on what is working, what you have accomplished, and what resources are available to you. Gratitude does not negate challenges, it shifts your attention to elements you can leverage for success. Recognizing progress, no matter how small, reinforces confidence and fuels resilience in the face of obstacles. Finally, patience is a hidden strength, often overlooked. Building a strong mindset is not instantaneous. It requires repeated effort, reflection, and adaptation over time. The obstacles you face today are part of the process of creating the person you are becoming. Embrace each stage of growth with persistence, humility, and dedication. Understand that consistent action, disciplined thought, and unwavering focus compound into extraordinary strength over time. Strengthening your mindset requires deliberate effort every day. It requires reflection, accountability, discipline, and the courage to face discomfort head-on. It demands that you replace fear with focus, doubt with determination, and passivity with deliberate action. By monitoring your thoughts, visualizing success, practicing resilience, controlling emotions, committing to continuous learning, prioritizing health, taking immediate action, and persisting without surrender, you develop a mental framework capable of overcoming any obstacle. Obstacles will always exist, but they do not define you. Your mindset defines how you respond, how you grow, and how far you will rise. Each challenge you face is a proving ground for your strength, character, and perseverance. When you adopt these principles and embed them into your daily life, you build an unshakable mental foundation. You become someone who confronts adversity with calm resolve, adapts quickly, and moves forward with relentless focus. Every day presents an opportunity to strengthen your mindset. Begin each morning by affirming your commitment to growth, responsibility, and resilience. Review your goals and the actions necessary to achieve them. Observe your thoughts, manage your emotions, and respond with discipline and determination. Conclude each day by reflecting on your progress, learning from setbacks, and reinforcing the habits that build mental strength. Over time, this daily practice transforms your mind into your greatest asset. A strong mindset transforms more than how you face obstacles. It transforms your life. It empowers you to take control of your destiny, pursue goals with clarity and purpose, and rise silently stronger while others underestimate your potential. It allows you to act decisively, maintain focus under pressure, and continually grow despite setbacks. The person you become through developing this mindset is unstoppable, resilient, and capable of achieving far beyond what you once believed possible. Strengthening your mindset is not a one-time effort. It is a lifelong commitment. Each day is an opportunity to reinforce the principles, practices, and habits that cultivate mental strength. By dedicating yourself to this pursuit, you equip yourself to face any obstacle with confidence, wisdom, and determination. You move forward with courage and clarity, undeterred by fear, distraction, or resistance. Your mind becomes your most powerful tool, shaping not only your present, but the trajectory of your entire life. Ultimately, a strong mindset is the key to living deliberately, purposefully, and resiliently. It allows you to confront challenges directly, take bold action, and navigate adversity without losing sight of your goals. Every step you take toward strengthening your mind is a step toward reclaiming control over your life. Each challenge you overcome reinforces your belief in your own capabilities. Every obstacle surmounted becomes evidence of your power, resilience, and unshakable determination. Strengthening your mindset is the foundation of rising strong. It enables you to rebuild silently, focus intently, and prepare yourself for a life of meaningful achievement. When you commit to developing mental strength, obstacles no longer intimidate you, challenges become opportunities, fear transforms into focus. Doubt becomes determination. By investing in your mindset today, you ensure that every action, decision, and effort propels you toward a future where you rise stronger, more capable, and unshakable in your pursuit of personal growth and success. Chapter 2. Develop powerful habits that transform your daily life. Developing powerful habits is the foundation of creating a life of consistency, growth, and meaningful achievement. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life, determining how your days unfold, how productive you are, and how close you get to your goals. A single habit, repeated consistently, has the power to reshape your future more than motivation or willpower ever could. The key is not to focus on grand gestures or dramatic changes, but on small, deliberate actions that compound over time. Transformation does not happen overnight. It happens quietly, day after day, when you align your routines with your vision. Start by examining your current daily actions. Most people operate on autopilot, letting distractions, impulses, and convenience dictate their choices. Awareness is the first step in taking control. Track your daily behaviors honestly and identify patterns that support growth and those that sabotage it. Simple things like how you spend your mornings, the types of media you consume, and how you respond to challenges can either strengthen or weaken your progress. By observing yourself without judgment, you gain the clarity necessary to replace unproductive habits with empowering ones. Prioritization is essential when building powerful habits. Focus on behaviors that produce the greatest impact on your life. These are often not the easiest tasks, but the ones that compound results over time. Developing a habit of reading, exercising, planning, or reflecting daily may feel small in the moment, yet over months and years, these actions accumulate into profound improvement. Avoid overwhelming yourself by trying to adopt too many habits at once. Start with one or two, master them, and gradually layer additional habits. Mastery comes from consistency, not speed. Consistency is the heartbeat of habit formation. A habit is only powerful when repeated regularly. The human brain craves routine, and repetition strengthens neural pathways that make behaviors automatic. Design your environment to support consistency. Place reminders, Remove obstacles and create triggers that encourage the habit. For instance, if your goal is to write daily, leave your notebook or computer in a visible place. If you want to exercise consistently, lay out your workout clothes in advance. Environment often dictates action more effectively than willpower. Accountability reinforces habits and ensures you stay on track. Share your goals with someone who will encourage and challenge you to follow through. Accountability can come from a friend, mentor, coach, or even yourself through journaling and tracking progress. Regularly reviewing what you have accomplished and what remains unfinished creates a sense of responsibility that motivates continued effort. When a habit is publicly acknowledged, even subtly, it becomes more difficult to ignore, and you naturally commit more deeply to your growth. Focus on habits that strengthen both body and mind. Physical well-being is not separate from productivity and mental clarity. It is a prerequisite for sustaining high-level performance. Incorporate routines that enhance energy, health, and stamina. Proper sleep, hydration, nutrition, and regular physical activity provide the foundation on which all other habits can thrive. Likewise, mental habits such as daily reflection, goal setting, and learning keep your mind sharp and adaptive. A well-rounded approach ensures habits support holistic growth rather than just one aspect of life. Habits are reinforced by clear goals and intentional purpose. Random actions without direction rarely produce lasting results. Define what success looks like in every area of your life, and align habits with those outcomes. Each small action should contribute directly or indirectly to your overarching objectives. Without this alignment, you risk busy work, distractions, and burnout. Habits function best when they serve a purpose larger than immediate gratification. Purpose gives them meaning, and meaning fuels persistence. Reflection and adjustment are vital. A habit may not always produce the desired results immediately, and external circumstances may change. Periodically assess whether your habits continue to serve your growth or if they need refinement. Successful individuals review their routines regularly, removing what is no longer effective and strengthening what works. This process requires honesty and a willingness to let go of comfortable but ineffective behaviors. Flexibility within structure allows habits to evolve alongside your goals and ensures continuous improvement. Start small, but think long-term. A tiny daily habit, if maintained consistently, can produce results that far exceed short-term efforts. For example, reading just 10 pages every day compounds into several books per month. Saving a small portion of income regularly eventually builds financial security. Daily reflection and journaling sharpen self-awareness and decision-making skills over time. Habits are not about immediate reward, they are about strategic investment in your future self. Embrace discipline over motivation. Motivation fluctuates, but habits carried out through discipline endure. Relying solely on enthusiasm is fragile. The strongest habits are those performed even when desire is low, driven by commitment rather than fleeting emotion. Build internal standards that demand action regardless of mood. By doing what must be done consistently, you build momentum that becomes self-sustaining. Over time, this discipline becomes part of your identity, making it nearly effortless to maintain habits aligned with your growth. Anchor habits to existing routines. This approach, often called habit stacking, creates a natural rhythm and reduces friction in forming new behaviors. For instance, if you already brush your teeth every morning, immediately follow it with a short meditation or journaling session. By attaching a new habit to an established routine, you create a trigger that reinforces automatic action. This method leverages the brain's natural pattern recognition to embed positive behaviors quickly and reliably. Eliminate friction wherever possible. Complexity and inconvenience are the enemy of habit formation. Make the desired action simple, accessible, and easy to start. Remove distractions and unnecessary steps that slow your progress. For example, if your goal is to eat healthier, prepare meals in advance and store them where they are easily visible. If your goal is to exercise, have equipment ready and routines planned. The easier a habit is to start, the more likely it is to become automatic. Celebrate progress, no matter how small. Recognition reinforces habit formation and keeps motivation aligned with effort. Acknowledge when you follow through consistently or achieve incremental improvement. This is not about vanity or external validation, but about creating internal reinforcement. Rewarding consistency encourages the brain to associate positive feelings with the habit, increasing the likelihood of long-term adherence. Small celebrations maintain momentum, making the journey enjoyable and sustainable. Avoid perfectionism in habit development. Missing a day or slipping occasionally does not erase progress. What matters is the long-term trend and consistent return to the desired behaviors. Treat mistakes as learning opportunities rather than failures. Analyze why the habit was missed and adjust the approach to prevent recurrence. Progress is rarely linear, but persistence ensures that over time, habits become ingrained and produce lasting transformation. Incorporate habits that challenge and expand your capabilities. Growth occurs outside comfort zones, so include routines that push mental, physical, and emotional limits. Daily problem-solving exercises, physical challenges, learning new skills, or exposing yourself to diverse perspectives cultivate adaptability and resilience. Powerful habits are those that strengthen you holistically, preparing you to face obstacles, make better decisions, and handle stress with composure. Journaling is a habit that amplifies the effectiveness of all other routines. Taking time each day to record thoughts, actions, and reflections creates clarity, tracks progress, and reinforces accountability. Journaling helps identify patterns, evaluate successes and setbacks, and maintain focus on priorities. It also fosters self-awareness, an essential component of sustained personal growth. This small daily investment yields exponential returns in insight and direction. Sleep and recovery are often overlooked, but critical habits, productivity, focus, and emotional regulation deteriorate without adequate rest. Prioritize consistent sleep schedules, quality rest, and downtime to recharge both body and mind. Habits that honor your need for recovery are as important as active routines because they ensure long-term sustainability and prevent burnout. Mental strength and resilience are directly tied to how well your body and mind are rested and restored. Consistency compounded over time produces extraordinary results. The habits you adopt today may seem minor, but repeated over weeks, months, and years, they build an unshakable foundation for success. Small intentional actions accumulate into skill, confidence, and momentum that can withstand setbacks. Every day is an opportunity to reinforce positive behaviors that move you closer to the life you desire. The invisible work of habit creation quietly determines your trajectory more than any single effort. The ultimate power of habits lies in their ability to define identity. What you repeatedly do shapes who you become. People who maintain healthy, disciplined, and growth-focused routines naturally become individuals capable of handling challenges, making wise decisions, and achieving consistent results. Habits are not just actions, they are declarations of who you are and who you intend to be. By deliberately shaping your habits, you shape yourself into a person of resilience, focus, and accomplishment. In the end, developing powerful habits is about taking control of your life in a deliberate and disciplined way. It requires awareness, intentionality, and the courage to take small steps consistently, Replace unproductive routines with actions that align with your goals. Design an environment that supports your growth. Build accountability, practice reflection, and reward consistency. Maintain patience, embrace discipline, and allow habits to compound over time. Each day is a new opportunity to strengthen your routines and transform your life through deliberate, persistent action. Habits are the tools that make you unstoppable, resilient, and capable of achieving far beyond what you once imagined possible. Chapter 3. Eliminate toxic people who block your personal growth. Eliminating toxic people from your life is one of the most decisive actions you can take to protect your growth, energy, and mental clarity. Personal growth requires space, focus, and consistent energy directed toward your goals, and certain individuals can drain that energy without even realizing it. Toxic relationships are not always obvious. They can come in the form of constant criticism, jealousy, manipulation, or passive-aggressive behavior. Recognizing the influence these people have on your life is the first step toward reclaiming control. Your attention and energy are finite resources, and every interaction should ideally contribute to your progress rather than diminish it. Begin by identifying patterns of behavior that consistently leave you feeling drained, frustrated, or insecure. Take note of conversations, interactions, and relationships that produce more stress than support. A toxic person often undermines your confidence, dismisses your goals, or projects negativity that interferes with your focus. Acknowledging these patterns without rationalizing or excusing them is essential. Awareness alone empowers you to make decisions rather than remain stuck in habitual relationships that limit your potential. Set clear boundaries immediately. Boundaries are not about controlling others, but about protecting your emotional and mental well-being. Decide what types of behavior you will no longer tolerate and communicate them firmly when necessary. Boundaries may include limiting time spent with certain individuals, avoiding topics that trigger conflict, or choosing not to engage with negative commentary. Establishing these boundaries teaches others how to treat you and reinforces your commitment to personal growth. Distance is often necessary to break free from toxicity. Some individuals resist change or refuse to respect your limits, and in these cases, reducing interaction becomes critical. This may mean spending less time with them, reducing contact on social media, or prioritizing relationships that are mutually supportive. Distance is not a sign of weakness or anger. It is a strategic decision to preserve your energy and focus. Protecting your environment allows you to cultivate a space conducive to growth and clarity. Surround yourself with people who inspire, motivate, and challenge you positively. Growth thrives in environments where encouragement, accountability, and constructive feedback are present. Seek out individuals who embody qualities you admire and who hold themselves to high standards. These relationships reinforce positive habits, provide guidance when needed, and create a network that supports your aspirations. The company you keep shapes your mindset, influencing the speed and quality of your progress. Develop emotional independence to reduce vulnerability to toxic influence. Toxic individuals often thrive on eliciting reactions, controlling emotions, or instilling doubt. By cultivating self-awareness and emotional regulation, you become less reactive and more resilient. Techniques such as reflection, journaling, and mindfulness strengthen your ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Emotional independence allows you to interact with others without sacrificing your sense of stability or direction. Recognize that letting go of toxic relationships may provoke discomfort or guilt. Society often emphasizes loyalty or obligation, even when relationships are harmful. Understand that self-preservation and growth are legitimate priorities. Choosing to distance yourself from negativity is not selfish. It is necessary for your well-being and long-term success. Prioritize your future self over temporary discomfort, and remember that every healthy choice strengthens your foundation for growth. Limit exposure to negative influences in every form. This includes not only personal interactions, but also the media, conversations, and environments that reinforce destructive patterns. Replace these inputs with sources of knowledge, inspiration, and constructive challenge. Every input you accept shapes your thinking, decision-making, and emotional state. Protecting what you consume is as crucial as controlling who you interact with, as both directly impact your energy and ability to focus. Communicate selectively and assertively. Toxic individuals often take advantage of indecisiveness, ambiguity, or passivity. Practice concise, firm, and intentional communication that conveys your boundaries and expectations. Avoid arguments that drain energy or reinforce conflict. Respond rather than react, maintaining control over your attention and emotional state. Assertive communication minimizes the influence of toxicity and ensures that interactions remain purposeful rather than draining. Cultivate self-respect and self-worth as a shield against toxic influence. When you value yourself and your growth, it becomes easier to identify relationships that hinder progress and take action accordingly. Confidence in your purpose allows you to navigate social dynamics without fear or hesitation. A strong sense of self-worth transforms interactions from reactive to intentional, enabling you to prioritize relationships that align with your goals and values. Observe patterns over time rather than making impulsive decisions. Toxicity often reveals itself gradually through repeated behaviors. Pay attention to consistency rather than isolated incidents to assess whether a relationship is genuinely supportive or harmful. This measured approach ensures that decisions are based on evidence and alignment with your growth, rather than temporary emotions. Long-term observation allows you to identify relationships that truly deserve your investment. Accept that some relationships cannot be fixed. Effort alone is insufficient when others refuse to acknowledge their destructive behaviors or respect your boundaries. Recognize that energy spent attempting to change someone else is energy taken from your own growth. Direct your efforts toward constructive pursuits and individuals who are receptive to positive influence. Acceptance brings clarity, reduces frustration, and frees you to focus on the relationships and opportunities that matter most. Replace toxicity with constructive alternatives. As you remove harmful influences, actively seek relationships and environments that support growth, learning, and accountability. Join communities, professional groups, or social circles where ambition, discipline, and positivity are valued. Build a support system that encourages challenges, celebrates achievements, and reinforces resilience. Replacing negativity with constructive influence ensures that your energy is redirected toward progress rather than stagnation. Trust your intuition when assessing relationships. Your instincts are often attuned to subtle cues of manipulation, inconsistency, or negativity. Pay attention to feelings of discomfort, hesitation, or emotional drain during interactions. Intuition complements observation and analysis, providing an internal guide that aligns with your long-term objectives. Acting in accordance with your instincts helps you avoid unnecessary conflict and preserves your mental energy. Practice forgiveness without attachment. Removing someone from your life does not require harboring resentment. Letting go of grudges and emotional debt frees your mind and heart for productive focus. Forgiveness is a conscious choice to release the hold that negativity has over you. It is an act of self-liberation, not reconciliation, and it strengthens emotional resilience while maintaining mental clarity. Recognize the impact of energy transfer. Every interaction consumes mental and emotional energy, and toxic individuals often leave you depleted. Evaluate how you feel after spending time with certain people. If interactions consistently leave you drained, anxious, or demotivated, they are costing more than they give. Prioritize relationships that energize, challenge, and inspire. Understanding energy flow allows you to manage your resources intentionally, directing attention toward activities and people that accelerate your growth. Develop assertive self-talk to reinforce boundaries. Toxic influence is less effective when your internal dialogue supports confidence and clarity. Affirm your worth, value, and purpose regularly. Remind yourself that protecting your growth is essential and justified. Internal reinforcement strengthens resolve, making it easier to uphold decisions about relationships and interactions without hesitation or guilt. Detach emotionally from outcomes that do not serve your purpose. Toxic individuals may attempt to manipulate through expectation, obligation, or emotional pressure. By maintaining detachment, you preserve your mental space and decision-making autonomy. Responds strategically to demands or provocations without internalizing negativity. Emotional detachment does not mean indifference. It means deliberate focus on what truly contributes to your development. Reinforce new social patterns gradually. Removing toxicity and cultivating supportive connections is a process that requires patience and persistence. Adjusting social habits and expanding networks takes intentional effort. Introduce new routines, environments, and interactions that consistently promote growth. Over time, these patterns solidify, creating a social ecosystem that naturally reinforces discipline, positivity, and ambition. Celebrate the liberation that comes from eliminating toxic influences. Each step toward healthier relationships is a step toward clarity, focus, and progress. Recognize the freedom to direct energy toward productive activities, meaningful connections, and personal growth. Every decision to remove or distance from toxicity strengthens your mental resilience, reinforces self-worth, and solidifies a life designed around achievement and purpose. Ultimately, removing toxic people is not merely about separation. It is about creating space for meaningful growth. It requires courage, clarity, and a commitment to self-respect. By observing behavior patterns, establishing boundaries, limiting exposure, fostering supportive relationships, and maintaining emotional independence, you construct a life where energy and attention are devoted to what truly matters. The decision to prioritize your growth over others' influence is transformative, empowering you to rise stronger, focus intensely, and pursue your goals without distraction. Your personal environment becomes a reflection of your ambitions, standards, and resilience, allowing you to progress in a life that is intentional, fulfilling, and aligned with your highest potential. Chapter 4. Master self-discipline to achieve every important goal. Mastering self-discipline is the foundation of turning intentions into achievements and dreams into reality. Goals are meaningless without the ability to follow through consistently, and self-discipline is the bridge that transforms ambition into measurable results. Discipline is not about harshness or deprivation. It is the practice of choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. It requires deliberate action, focus, and a structured approach to every day, ensuring that your energy and effort align with the outcomes you desire. Developing self-discipline is a skill that can be strengthened through consistent practice and conscious decision-making, and its impact extends to every area of life, from health to relationships to professional success. Begin by clarifying your priorities and defining what success looks like in each area of life. Self-discipline thrives on clarity because it is easier to follow through when your goals are precise and meaningful. Write down the most important objectives and determine the steps necessary to achieve them. Break these steps into manageable daily actions, creating a roadmap that guides your behavior and reduces uncertainty. When every decision is informed by your purpose, resisting distractions becomes more natural and your commitment solidifies. Commit to creating a structured daily routine. Habits and discipline reinforce each other when action is consistent. Design a schedule that aligns with your priorities and allocates specific times for critical tasks. Treat these time blocks as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. Consistency cultivates momentum, and repetition strengthens the neural pathways that make disciplined action automatic. A disciplined schedule eliminates indecision, reduces wasted time, and ensures that your efforts compound toward meaningful results. Control over impulses is essential. Every day presents countless opportunities to act impulsively, from distractions on digital devices to cravings for comfort or leisure. Self-discipline is the ability to pause, assess, and choose actions aligned with your long-term objectives. Practice delaying gratification intentionally. Small acts of restraint, such as completing a task before checking your phone or choosing a healthy meal over immediate indulgence, strengthen willpower and reinforce disciplined habits. These seemingly minor decisions accumulate into significant personal growth over time. Accountability reinforces self-discipline. Track your progress rigorously and measure performance against defined standards. Journaling, habit trackers, or checklists create tangible evidence of accomplishment or areas for improvement. Accountability can also be external. Sharing goals with a trusted mentor, friend, or peer group introduces social reinforcement that encourages follow-through. Consistent review and reflection identify patterns that support growth and expose weak points that require adjustment, creating a feedback loop that strengthens self-control. Set clear boundaries to minimize distractions and external interference. Distractions erode focus, and without control over your environment, self-discipline becomes more difficult. Identify sources of disruption, whether digital, social, or physical, and proactively reduce or eliminate them. Establish designated spaces for work, rest, and personal development that reinforce your commitment to disciplined action. Environment plays a critical role in sustaining consistency, as small adjustments often yield disproportionate improvements in focus and productivity. Practice deliberate decision-making. Self-discipline grows when choices are intentional rather than reactive. Evaluate the consequences of each action and ask whether it aligns with your long-term goals. Avoid decisions driven by impulse, habit, or peer pressure. By consistently prioritizing actions that serve your objectives, you condition your mind to favor structured, purposeful behavior. Each choice reinforces discipline, gradually embedding it into your identity and making consistency second nature. Embrace discomfort as a tool for growth. Discipline is not always easy, and the path to achievement often requires effort beyond what feels comfortable or convenient. Lean into challenges, difficult tasks, and uncomfortable routines as opportunities to strengthen resolve. Every instance of enduring temporary difficulty in service of your objectives builds mental toughness and reinforces the habit of disciplined action. Over time, challenges that once seemed daunting become manageable because your commitment to discipline outweighs the pull of comfort. Eliminate unnecessary obligations that dilute focus. Time and energy are finite, and attempting to meet all demands often undermines the ability to act with discipline. Identify commitments that do not advance your goals or align with your values and remove or delegate them. Prioritize high-impact actions that produce meaningful progress. This selective focus conserves energy for disciplined execution of critical tasks and ensures that effort is directed toward outcomes that truly matter. Leverage positive routines to reinforce self-discipline. Anchor new behaviors to established habits to create consistency with minimal effort. For example, if you exercise regularly, integrate a short reflection or planning session afterward. Habit stacking reduces the mental friction of initiating new actions and strengthens the link between existing discipline and desired outcomes. Consistency grows exponentially when new practices are embedded into routines you already follow reliably. Visualization and mental rehearsal are powerful tools. Imagine yourself acting with unwavering discipline in challenging circumstances. Picture completing difficult tasks despite distractions, fatigue, or resistance. This mental preparation strengthens resolve, primes the brain for action, and reinforces confidence in your ability to maintain disciplined behavior. Over time, mental rehearsal builds automaticity, making disciplined choices more instinctive, even under pressure. Focus on incremental progress rather than perfection. Discipline is built through repeated practice and persistence, not flawless execution. Accept that occasional lapses are part of the process and view them as opportunities for learning and refinement. Analyze setbacks objectively to identify triggers and adjust strategies accordingly. Maintaining a forward trajectory, even with small steps, strengthens self-control and sustains momentum toward long-term objectives. Account for energy management. Discipline requires more than intention. It relies on the availability of physical and mental resources. Prioritize rest, nutrition, and exercise to ensure that energy levels support consistent performance. Avoid overextension that leads to burnout or decision fatigue, as depleted resources weaken resolve and increase susceptibility to distractions. Self-discipline is reinforced when your body and mind are prepared to sustain focus and effort. Establish systems that reduce reliance on willpower alone. Willpower fluctuates and is finite, but structured routines, clear priorities, and supportive environments reduce the need for constant conscious effort. Automate decisions where possible, standardize processes, and create templates for recurring tasks. By minimizing decision fatigue, you conserve energy for the most important choices, enhancing consistency and making disciplined action habitual rather than exceptional. Monitor your language and self-talk. Words shape belief and behavior. Replace statements of limitation or excuses with affirmations of capability and commitment. Reinforce your identity as someone who follows through and consistently takes action. Positive internal dialogue strengthens resolve, conditions the mind for perseverance, and supports adherence to disciplined behavior even when faced with obstacles or temptation. Understand the relationship between discipline and freedom. Discipline is not a restriction, but a mechanism for creating control over life circumstances. By mastering self-control, you gain the ability to act intentionally, avoid reactive choices, and pursue goals without being driven by fleeting impulses. The structure imposed by discipline ultimately expands freedom, enabling greater flexibility, creativity, and sustained achievement. Reflect regularly on progress and results. Set aside time to evaluate what is working and what requires adjustment. Reflection deepens self-awareness, highlights patterns that support disciplined action, and provides insight into where improvements are necessary. Constructive assessment reinforces accountability and ensures that daily actions remain aligned with larger objectives. Reflection is a tool for continuous refinement and long-term mastery of self-discipline. Build resilience through small, repeated acts of consistency. Discipline strengthens when practiced gradually and incrementally, starting with manageable commitments and expanding over time. Each successful execution reinforces confidence, demonstrates capability, and conditions the mind to expect follow-through. Momentum grows as small successes compound, creating a foundation for maintaining discipline in increasingly complex or challenging tasks. Celebrate disciplined action to reinforce behavior. Acknowledge completion of key tasks, milestones, or consistent routines to strengthen motivation and commitment. Recognition of effort, even in small increments, creates positive reinforcement that encourages continued adherence. Discipline becomes sustainable when reinforced by acknowledgement, internal satisfaction, and the visible progress it produces. Ultimately, mastering self-discipline requires daily intention, persistence, and courage. It demands clarity of purpose, consistent execution, and the ability to prioritize long-term outcomes over temporary gratification. Discipline is cultivated through structured routines, deliberate choice, reflection, and resilience in the face of discomfort or resistance. It is reinforced by supportive environments, energy management, and mindful observation of thoughts and behaviors. By integrating these practices into every aspect of life, self-discipline becomes automatic, guiding every decision and action toward meaningful achievement and long-term success. A life built on self-discipline allows goals to be achieved systematically and consistently. It creates the structure, focus, and momentum necessary to overcome obstacles, resist distractions, and maintain unwavering pursuit of meaningful objectives. Every day of deliberate practice reinforces capacity, character, and resilience. Mastering self-discipline transforms not only what you accomplish, but who you become, ensuring that your actions are aligned with your highest potential and your ability to create a life of extraordinary results. Chapter 5. Build resilience to handle challenges without losing focus. Building resilience is the key to navigating life's inevitable challenges without losing momentum or clarity. Every person faces setbacks, obstacles, and unexpected disruptions, but the difference between success and stagnation lies in how one responds. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulty. It is about developing the capacity to endure, adapt, and emerge stronger. It is a skill that can be cultivated through intentional practice, reflection, and daily reinforcement. A resilient mind allows you to confront adversity with composure, make decisions under pressure, and maintain focus on long-term objectives, even when circumstances are unfavorable. Start by accepting that challenges are an inherent part of growth. Resistance, failure, and difficulty are not punishments. They are signals that you are pushing boundaries and moving beyond comfort zones. Reframing adversity as an opportunity rather than a threat shifts perspective and reduces emotional burden. When challenges are viewed as learning experiences, the mind becomes proactive rather than reactive. This mental framing is essential because it transforms obstacles into tools for developing skill, confidence, and adaptability. Develop emotional regulation to prevent setbacks from derailing progress. Resilient individuals maintain control over reactions and choose responses aligned with goals. Practice observing emotions without judgment, identifying triggers, and consciously selecting constructive actions. Techniques such as mindful breathing, structured reflection, and focused attention on the present moment strengthen emotional stability. A regulated emotional state allows for clearer thinking and decision-making, even when facing high-pressure situations. Strengthen problem-solving skills as part of resilience. Challenges often present complex problems that require creativity, persistence, and strategic thinking. Train yourself to break issues into smaller, manageable components and analyze potential solutions systematically. Approach each obstacle with curiosity and an analytical mindset rather than frustration or panic. Developing competence in problem-solving builds confidence, reduces stress, and reinforces the ability to maintain focus under pressure. Physical health plays a critical role in resilience. The body and mind are interconnected, and stress or fatigue directly impacts cognitive performance and emotional stability. Prioritize regular exercise, adequate rest, proper nutrition, and recovery routines to maintain energy levels and endurance. Physical conditioning strengthens mental stamina by demonstrating that consistent effort produces tangible results. A healthy body supports a resilient mind, enabling sustained focus during challenges and reducing susceptibility to overwhelm. Build a routine that reinforces consistency during difficult periods. Structured habits provide stability and a sense of control, even when external circumstances are unpredictable. Daily routines for work, reflection, exercise, and learning anchor the mind and prevent chaos from dictating behavior. Regularity in action fosters momentum, ensuring that progress continues despite external stresses. This stability allows you to respond to challenges strategically rather than reactively. Foster a growth-oriented mindset. Resilient individuals embrace change and view setbacks as opportunities to improve. Avoid fixed thinking that interprets failure as evidence of inadequacy. Instead, approach challenges as feedback and insight into areas for refinement. Continuous learning and adaptation strengthen resilience by reinforcing the belief that every obstacle carries valuable information that can enhance skills, judgment, and performance. Develop a strong sense of purpose. Clarity of why you pursue goals and what you stand for provides a foundation during difficult times. Purpose anchors focus, motivates persistence, and directs energy toward meaningful outcomes rather than distractions. When challenges arise, a clearly defined purpose helps maintain perspective, prioritize actions, and sustain effort. A purpose-driven approach transforms adversity into motivation and reinforces commitment to long-term objectives. Cultivate support networks that encourage resilience. Surrounding yourself with individuals who offer constructive guidance, encouragement, and perspective strengthens the ability to handle stress. Mentors, peers, and communities provide feedback, accountability, and shared experience that reduces isolation during difficult periods. Social support reinforces confidence, provides alternative solutions, and fosters perseverance when obstacles seem overwhelming. Strategic connections amplify resilience by offering guidance and emotional reinforcement. Practice incremental exposure to discomfort. Resilience is developed through repeated experiences that challenge endurance and adaptability. Intentionally place yourself in controlled situations that push limits, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally. Small, consistent exposure strengthens tolerance for adversity, allowing you to maintain composure and focus when facing larger challenges. Over time, repeated practice in manageable increments builds confidence, stamina, and the ability to navigate uncertainty with poise. Learn to control attention. Resilient individuals manage focus deliberately, choosing where to direct energy rather than reacting to distractions or stresses. Practice concentration techniques, including time blocking, task prioritization, and mindfulness to maintain attention on critical objectives. Avoid allowing external chaos or negative influences to hijack focus. By mastering attention, you strengthen the capacity to persevere and make progress even under challenging circumstances. Reflect systematically on past obstacles to extract lessons. Each challenge carries insight that strengthens decision-making and adaptability. Identify what strategies were effective, what mistakes occurred, and what could be improved. Reflection transforms experience into actionable knowledge, allowing the mind to respond more efficiently to future difficulties. Systematic review reinforces confidence by demonstrating progress and highlighting the capacity to learn and adjust under pressure. Maintain flexibility in approach while preserving core principles. Challenges often require adaptation rather than rigid adherence to a single strategy. Resilience is enhanced when solutions are evaluated objectively, alternatives considered, and adjustments implemented without compromising values or objectives. Flexibility ensures that obstacles do not create stagnation while maintaining alignment with overarching goals. Adapting effectively allows progress to continue, even when conditions change unexpectedly. Practice deliberate optimism. Resilient individuals acknowledge difficulties without becoming paralyzed by them. Maintaining a positive yet realistic perspective reinforces motivation and reduces stress. Focus on potential solutions, lessons to be learned, and achievable next steps rather than fixating on limitations or setbacks. Optimism strengthens mental endurance, encourages proactive action, and prevents discouragement from undermining performance. Embrace personal accountability in the face of challenges. Resist the urge to blame circumstances, others, or luck for difficulties. Accept responsibility for decisions, actions, and responses. Accountability reinforces control over outcomes, fosters proactive problem-solving, and cultivates self-reliance. Taking ownership of challenges strengthens resilience because it empowers the mind to act rather than remain passive or reactive. Develop mental routines that reinforce stability during crises. Daily reflection, goal review, meditation, or journaling create continuity that anchors focus when external conditions are volatile. These routines offer clarity, perspective, and emotional regulation, allowing for consistent action in response to challenges. Mental discipline reinforces the ability to stay centered and purposeful, reducing susceptibility to distraction, panic, or frustration. Manage stress proactively rather than reactively. Identify triggers, physical responses, and emotional patterns associated with pressure. Implement strategies such as deep breathing, physical movement, structured planning, and prioritization to mitigate stress before it escalates. Proactive stress management preserves cognitive clarity, strengthens focus, and prevents emotional overwhelm, all of which are critical for sustaining resilience during extended periods of difficulty. Celebrate perseverance and small victories. Recognize the effort required to maintain composure, adapt strategies, and continue forward momentum. Acknowledging achievements reinforces confidence, motivation, and the psychological reinforcement necessary to persist under pressure. Small wins compound over time, creating a mental framework that supports resilience and demonstrates capability in the face of adversity. Maintain perspective by separating immediate discomfort from long-term objectives. Challenges often feel urgent, but their significance must be assessed relative to overarching goals. Resilient individuals view temporary setbacks as transient and focus on sustained progress toward meaningful outcomes. Perspective reduces emotional reactivity, strengthens determination, and ensures energy is directed toward constructive action rather than frustration or despair. Embody persistence as a habitual response. Resilience is reinforced through repeated, consistent effort, even when conditions are unfavorable. Every instance of maintaining focus, adapting to circumstances, and acting with intentionality strengthens the neural pathways associated with perseverance. This repeated practice transforms endurance into habit, creating an automatic capacity to maintain effort despite obstacles. Ultimately, building resilience is a deliberate, multifaceted practice that integrates mental clarity, emotional regulation, physical readiness, strategic reflection, and purposeful action. It requires accepting difficulty as an inevitable part of life, maintaining focus on long-term goals, and committing to consistent improvement. By cultivating adaptability, accountability, and deliberate focus, challenges become opportunities for growth rather than sources of frustration. Resilience allows the mind to recover quickly, maintain direction, and navigate adversity with confidence, ensuring that personal progress continues regardless of external pressures. A resilient mindset empowers sustained achievement, prepares for unexpected obstacles, and strengthens the ability to rise stronger after every difficulty. Chapter 6. Invest in yourself to expand skills and knowledge. Investing in yourself is the most valuable decision you can make, because your growth, skills, and knowledge determine the trajectory of your life. Every action, every hour, and every choice you dedicate to self-improvement compounds over time into tangible results that elevate your capabilities and opportunities. Personal investment is not merely about financial expenditure. It is about allocating time, energy, and focus to activities that expand understanding, strengthen skills, and cultivate a mindset prepared to seize opportunities. Knowledge without application is incomplete, and skills without refinement lose value. True investment integrates learning, practice, and reflection to create lasting personal and professional transformation. Start by identifying areas where improvement will yield the greatest impact. Analyze your current strengths, weaknesses, and gaps in knowledge or skill, determining which abilities will enhance your performance, adaptability, or effectiveness in the arenas that matter most. Prioritize investments that produce the highest return, whether in career, personal development, or relationships. Focusing strategically ensures that time and energy are directed toward meaningful growth, rather than scattered effort. Create a structured plan for consistent learning. Schedule dedicated periods for study, practice, and reflection. Learning without routine becomes sporadic and ineffective, whereas a disciplined approach builds momentum and retention. Establish clear objectives for each session, whether mastering a skill, reading a book, or practicing a technique. Consistency reinforces discipline and makes continuous improvement a natural part of daily life, rather than an occasional effort. Embrace a mindset of curiosity and continuous exploration. Invest in learning beyond immediate needs or comfort zones. Seek knowledge that challenges assumptions, broadens perspective, and fosters adaptability. Reading, online courses, workshops, and mentorship expose you to diverse ideas and experiences that expand problem-solving capabilities. Curiosity motivates ongoing growth and prevents stagnation by keeping the mind engaged and receptive to new possibilities. Apply knowledge actively to ensure it becomes a functional skill. Understanding concepts theoretically is insufficient without practical implementation. Translate lessons into action. Experiment with techniques and test new strategies in real-world scenarios. Application deepens comprehension, reinforces confidence, and creates habits that integrate learning into daily performance. Every opportunity to practice reinforces mastery and converts investment into tangible results. Seek mentors and guides to accelerate development. Learning from those with experience reduces trial and error, exposes hidden insights, and models effective strategies. Mentors provide feedback, perspective, and accountability, enabling faster progress and preventing costly mistakes. Surrounding yourself with people who challenge and inspire fosters an environment where growth is accelerated through guidance and example rather than isolated effort. Diversify sources of knowledge and skill development. Avoid limiting yourself to a single domain or perspective. Explore complementary fields, interdisciplinary studies, and unconventional approaches. Exposure to diverse ideas enhances creativity, decision-making, and adaptability. Skills and insights gained from varied sources provide unique problem-solving abilities and strengthen the capacity to innovate and respond effectively to challenges. Invest in personal well-being to support growth. Physical and mental health are essential foundations for learning and performance. Adequate sleep, nutrition, exercise, and mental care optimize energy, focus, and resilience. Without these elements, the ability to absorb knowledge, practice skills, and maintain consistent effort diminishes. Investing in health ensures that every other personal development effort is supported and sustainable. Practice reflection to consolidate learning. Regularly review what you have learned. Assess progress and identify areas for improvement. Reflection deepens understanding, clarifies priorities, and informs strategic adjustments. Writing, journaling, or discussing insights with peers reinforces retention and enables you to extract actionable lessons from every experience. Reflection transforms passive exposure to knowledge into active mastery. Develop problem-solving and critical thinking skills intentionally. These abilities enhance every area of personal and professional life. Analyze situations, anticipate challenges, and consider multiple solutions before taking action. The ability to think critically and make informed decisions multiplies the value of knowledge by ensuring that insights are applied effectively. Strong thinking skills enable you to navigate complexity with confidence and clarity. Allocate resources wisely for long-term benefit. Investments in courses, books, seminars, or tools should be evaluated based on potential return in capability, efficiency, or impact. Avoid frivolous spending on superficial experiences that offer little skill or growth. Strategic allocation ensures that every dollar or hour spent contributes directly to competence, confidence, or opportunity expansion. Long-term planning maximizes returns on self-investment. Commit to mastering one skill at a time. Depth often outweighs breadth when building expertise. Focused effort on a specific skill until proficiency is achieved ensures tangible improvement and boosts confidence. Once mastery is established, leverage that skill to expand into related areas or integrate it with other competencies. Focused investment yields measurable results and creates a foundation for broader capability. Seek feedback and evaluation regularly. External perspective identifies blind spots, challenges assumptions, and provides constructive guidance for improvement. Implement feedback actively to refine skills, adjust methods, and enhance knowledge application. Constructive critique accelerates development and reinforces the discipline necessary for sustained personal investment. Feedback transforms effort into measurable growth. Adopt lifelong learning as a core value. Personal growth does not end with formal education or early career achievements. Commit to continuous development, staying current with trends, technologies, and evolving knowledge relevant to goals. Lifelong learning ensures adaptability, maintains relevance, and fosters the mindset necessary for long-term achievement. Continuous self-investment prevents stagnation and positions you to capitalize on emerging opportunities. Integrate learning into daily routines. Knowledge acquisition becomes effortless when embedded in regular habits. Listen to audiobooks during commutes, read for a set period each day, practice skills in focused intervals, or engage in discussions that reinforce concepts. Small, consistent actions accumulate into substantial growth over months and years, demonstrating the power of daily investment. Balance theory with practice. Understanding ideas intellectually is valuable, but translating them into action produces skill, confidence, and results. Engage in exercises, simulations, or real-world projects that allow theory to be tested and refined. Action consolidates learning, develops muscle memory or competency, and transforms knowledge into usable expertise. The combination of theory and practice accelerates mastery. Cultivate adaptability and openness to change. Knowledge and skills become obsolete if not applied dynamically. Remain willing to pivot, learn new techniques, or adjust methods in response to evolving circumstances. Flexibility ensures that investment in yourself remains relevant, actionable, and valuable regardless of external changes or challenges. Adaptability preserves the long-term impact of personal development. Measure progress and milestones consistently. Tracking growth provides motivation, insight, and a clear picture of advancement. Identify benchmarks for skill improvement, knowledge acquisition, or capability application. Quantifying progress reinforces accountability, validates effort, and informs strategy for further investment. Measurement converts abstract effort into concrete evidence of development. Develop resilience in learning and skill building. Challenges, mistakes, and failures are inevitable components of growth. Treat setbacks as opportunities to refine methods and deepen understanding rather than as discouragement. Persistent effort, even when results are delayed or imperfect, compounds into mastery. Resilience ensures that investment in self remains steady despite obstacles or temporary setbacks. Create a personal growth ecosystem. Surround yourself with resources, mentors, peers, and tools that reinforce learning and development. Design an environment conducive to exploration, creativity, and skill enhancement. A supportive ecosystem accelerates progress by providing guidance, challenge, and reinforcement at every stage of self-investment. Ultimately, investing in yourself requires intentionality, discipline, and persistence. It demands clarity in identifying areas of growth, strategic allocation of time and resources, active application of knowledge, and continuous reflection. By committing to consistent learning, skill development, and personal refinement, you create a life of capability, adaptability, and meaningful achievement. Every hour and every effort dedicated to self-investment compounds into long-term advantage, ensuring that personal growth becomes an unstoppable force, shaping opportunities, outcomes, and success across all areas of life. Chapter 7. Control your thoughts to focus on what matters. Controlling your thoughts is the foundation for achieving clarity, focus, and meaningful action in life. Every decision, habit, and result begins in the mind, and the quality of your thoughts directly shapes the outcomes you experience. Unmanaged thoughts scatter attention, drain energy, and create unnecessary stress, whereas deliberate mental control allows you to prioritize what truly matters and act with precision. Learning to govern your mind is not about suppressing ideas or emotions, but about guiding attention intentionally, replacing unproductive patterns with purposeful focus, and developing mental resilience that supports consistent progress. Begin by observing your current thought patterns. Awareness is the first step toward mastery. Track recurring thoughts, internal dialogues, and emotional reactions that dominate your mind. Note which thoughts encourage productivity, growth, and confidence, and which ones lead to distraction, fear, or self-doubt. Identifying the patterns that undermine focus provides the clarity needed to intervene consciously and redirect mental energy toward what serves your goals. Practice mindfulness to enhance thought control. Mindfulness is the act of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. By observing thoughts as they arise, rather than reacting automatically, you create the space to choose which thoughts to engage with. Daily mindfulness exercises, such as focused breathing or meditative reflection, strengthen awareness, calm mental clutter, and increase the ability to concentrate on priorities. Over time, mindfulness allows you to intercept unhelpful thoughts before they influence behavior. Develop intentional thought replacement strategies. Negative or unproductive thoughts can be transformed by consciously substituting them with constructive alternatives. For instance, replace doubt with statements of capability, fear with curiosity, and self-criticism with reflection. Thought replacement reinforces positive neural pathways, gradually shaping a mindset oriented toward action and solutions rather than hesitation or distraction. The mind becomes a tool for progress rather than a source of limitation. Establish routines that reinforce mental focus. Habits and discipline create an environment where productive thoughts thrive. Begin each day with a structured plan, dedicating time to reflection, goal review, and priority setting. Create rituals that support concentration, such as designated work periods, scheduled breaks, and intentional reflection sessions. Repetition strengthens mental patterns, making focus automatic and minimizing the influence of chaotic or intrusive thoughts. Limit exposure to unnecessary distractions. The mind is easily pulled in multiple directions when external inputs are uncontrolled. Evaluate sources of distraction, including digital devices, unproductive conversations, or overwhelming environments. Reduce or eliminate these interruptions and curate your surroundings to encourage concentration. A controlled environment makes it easier to maintain thought discipline and ensures energy is directed toward high-value tasks. Practice deep focus exercises. Train the mind to sustain attention on a single task for extended periods. Techniques such as time blocking, the Pomodoro method, or single tasking cultivate the ability to resist mental drift. The more you practice concentrating without interruption, the more resilient your mind becomes to distractions, and the more efficiently you can channel thought toward meaningful work. Consistent practice strengthens cognitive endurance and mental precision. Develop emotional regulation to support thought control. Thoughts and emotions are intertwined, and unchecked emotions often hijack attention. Recognize triggers that provoke strong emotional responses and practice responding deliberately rather than reacting impulsively. Techniques like journaling, reflective questioning, or controlled breathing create emotional clarity that stabilizes thought processes. When emotional turbulence is managed, focus is preserved, and mental energy is available for productive action. Create a hierarchy of priorities in the mind. Decide consciously what is most important and direct attention accordingly. Avoid allocating mental resources to trivial concerns, worries, or unproductive speculation. By maintaining a clear hierarchy, every thought is evaluated against its relevance to long-term goals, ensuring that attention is concentrated where it produces meaningful results. Prioritization reinforces control and reduces the mental noise that undermines effectiveness. Engage in mental rehearsal and visualization. Imagine yourself acting with full concentration, overcoming obstacles, and completing high-priority tasks efficiently. Visualization strengthens cognitive pathways and prepares the mind for real-world execution. Rehearsing scenarios mentally reinforces confidence, reduces anxiety, and enhances the ability to maintain focus under pressure. Thought control is strengthened when the mind has practiced deliberate, outcome-oriented patterns. Challenge limiting beliefs actively. Many distractions and mental blocks originate from self-imposed constraints. Identify beliefs that inhibit action or create doubt, and question their validity. Replace them with evidence-based, empowering perspectives that align with goals. Strengthening thought patterns through critical examination and reframing builds resilience, confidence, and clarity in decision-making. The mind becomes a reliable instrument for progress rather than an obstacle. Implement periods of deliberate reflection. Regularly set aside time to assess thought patterns, decisions, and outcomes. Reflection clarifies which mental habits contribute to productivity and which detract from focus. Adjust routines, priorities, and mental approaches based on insights gained. Thought reflection creates self-awareness and allows for continuous refinement of mental discipline. It ensures that attention is consistently aligned with purpose, rather than diverted by noise or unexamined assumptions. Cultivate curiosity to guide constructive thinking. Engage the mind actively by questioning, exploring, and seeking solutions rather than reacting passively. Curiosity encourages critical thinking, problem-solving, and innovation. A mind trained in deliberate inquiry naturally avoids idle or destructive patterns, channeling energy toward purposeful engagement. Active engagement with ideas reinforces control and keeps focus aligned with objectives. Practice controlled exposure to challenges. Introduce situations that test your mental focus and resilience, gradually increasing difficulty over time. Facing distractions, high-pressure decisions, or complex problems strengthens cognitive flexibility and the ability to maintain concentration. Each encounter with controlled adversity trains the mind to stay disciplined under real-world conditions, reinforcing sustained attention and productive thought patterns. Establish mental cues and anchors for focus. Identify specific triggers, rituals, or environments that signal to the mind it is time for concentrated effort. Anchors might include a specific workspace, background music, or pre-task routine. These cues condition the mind to transition quickly into states of deep focus, reducing the effort required to maintain disciplined thought. Repeated use of mental anchors strengthens the association between environment, action, and cognitive control. Limit mental clutter through external organization. Clear spaces, structured schedules, and accessible tools reduce the cognitive load required to track tasks and responsibilities. External organization frees mental capacity for strategic thinking and creative problem-solving rather than managing chaos. By offloading non-essential information, the mind can concentrate fully on what matters most, enhancing clarity and decision-making efficiency. Maintain accountability for thought patterns. Monitor self-talk, mental reactions, and attention regularly. Use journaling, habit tracking, or discussion with mentors to evaluate mental focus and redirect unproductive patterns. Accountability reinforces conscious control over thoughts, increases consistency, and ensures sustained alignment with objectives. External or self-monitoring strengthens internal discipline and preserves mental energy for purposeful activity. Integrate breaks strategically to recharge the mind. Sustained focus requires intermittent recovery to maintain efficiency and avoid burnout. Short, deliberate pauses restore mental energy, reduce fatigue, and enhance clarity. Incorporating these intervals ensures the mind remains sharp, alert, and capable of deliberate thought over extended periods. Thought control is supported by proper management of cognitive resources. Engage in positive self-reinforcement. Acknowledge successful maintenance of focus, completion of critical tasks, and effective redirection of unproductive thoughts. Recognition strengthens neural pathways associated with deliberate thought, making disciplined attention more habitual. Positive reinforcement enhances motivation, resilience, and the likelihood of consistently maintaining mental control. Ultimately, controlling your thoughts is the decisive factor in transforming potential into achievement. A disciplined mind prioritizes, focuses, and acts intentionally, navigating distractions, emotional turbulence, and external pressures with clarity. Mental control allows for strategic decision-making, consistent productivity, and sustained alignment with meaningful goals. By cultivating awareness, mindfulness, reflection, and deliberate mental routines, the mind becomes a powerful instrument for achievement. Every day spent practicing thought mastery compounds into greater clarity, resilience, and capacity to act effectively, ensuring that attention remains fixed on what truly matters and that progress toward your highest objectives is uninterrupted. Chapter 8. Take bold action to create unstoppable personal momentum. Taking bold action is the catalyst that transforms ideas, plans, and intentions into real progress and lasting momentum. Momentum is built through decisive effort and consistent movement toward objectives, and without action, even the clearest vision remains stagnant. Bold action is not reckless. It is deliberate, courageous, and focused. It requires assessing risks, overcoming fear, and committing fully to steps that move you closer to your goals. By cultivating the habit of decisive action, you create a chain of progress that compounds over time, generating unstoppable personal momentum that propels you forward even when challenges arise. Start by identifying the areas of your life where decisive action is most needed. Examine current projects, goals, or opportunities and determine which actions will produce the highest impact. Avoid overanalyzing minor details that do not contribute significantly to results. Focus on high-value steps that drive progress and create visible forward movement. Clear prioritization allows energy to be concentrated on actions that accelerate momentum rather than dissipate it. Overcome fear by confronting it directly. Fear is often the primary barrier to bold action. Whether it stems from uncertainty, potential failure, or judgment from others, acknowledge fear as a natural signal rather than a limitation. Break down intimidating tasks into smaller steps and approach them progressively, reinforcing courage and confidence with each completion. Confronting fear regularly strengthens resolve, builds resilience, and ensures that hesitation does not impede growth or progress. Commit fully to decisions once made. Bold action requires eliminating indecision and half-hearted efforts. Once a course is chosen, dedicate resources, attention, and energy to executing it without reservation. Partial effort produces limited results and slows momentum, while full commitment generates forward propulsion and reinforces confidence in your ability to act decisively. Consistency and commitment transforms initial action into sustained progress. Take initiative rather than waiting for permission or perfect conditions. Waiting often leads to lost opportunities and delayed results. Momentum is created by proactive steps taken in real time, adapting to circumstances as needed. Bold action begins with initiative and is sustained through the willingness to tackle challenges without external prompting. Acting promptly while conditions are favorable amplifies results and positions you ahead of hesitation or delay. Practice calculated risk-taking. Bold action often involves uncertainty, but risk does not mean recklessness. Assess potential outcomes, gather necessary information, and plan contingencies while remaining committed to execution. Calculated risks expand possibilities, accelerate learning, and produce meaningful results faster than overly cautious approaches. By embracing risk strategically, momentum is amplified as progress compounds from decisive choices. Develop consistency in action to build exponential momentum. Momentum is not a product of isolated acts, but of repeated, purposeful effort. Establish daily habits that align with objectives and ensure continual progress. Each consistent step reinforces forward movement and reduces friction for subsequent actions. Over time, consistent effort creates a self-sustaining flow where action naturally leads to more action, generating unstoppable energy toward achieving goals. Visualize outcomes to fuel decisive behavior. Picture the benefits, achievements, and results that follow from bold action. Visualization creates clarity, motivation, and alignment between intention and execution. When outcomes are vividly imagined, the mind becomes focused, and hesitation diminishes. Mental rehearsal strengthens determination, primes the brain for success, and supports the momentum created by consistent action. Break larger goals into actionable steps. Ambitious objectives can feel overwhelming and paralyze progress if approached as a single monolithic task. Divide goals into clear, manageable actions that can be executed immediately. Completing smaller steps generates progress signals, reinforces confidence, and sustains motivation. Incremental accomplishment compounds over time into significant achievement, reinforcing the power of bold and structured action. Eliminate overthinking as a barrier to movement. Excessive deliberation often delays action and reduces momentum. While planning is necessary, perfectionism and endless analysis prevent execution. Commit to acting once sufficient information is gathered, and refine your approach through feedback and experience, rather than endless speculation. Momentum accelerates when thought leads to action rather than stagnation. Leverage accountability to reinforce bold execution. Share intentions and deadlines with trusted individuals who can provide encouragement, challenge, and oversight. External accountability strengthens commitment and increases the likelihood of follow-through. Knowing that others are observing progress adds urgency and reduces procrastination, ensuring that bold decisions translate into consistent action. Adapt to obstacles without losing momentum. Challenges will inevitably arise during execution, but momentum is sustained through flexible problem-solving and resilience. View obstacles as temporary barriers rather than permanent roadblocks. Adjust strategies, maintain focus on objectives, and continue moving forward despite adversity. Persistent adaptation ensures that progress continues even when conditions are difficult or unexpected. Celebrate progress to reinforce action. Acknowledge completed steps, milestones, and accomplishments, no matter how small. Recognition of forward movement enhances motivation, boosts confidence, and strengthens the association between effort and reward. Celebrating progress reinforces the habit of decisive action, encouraging continued movement and sustaining momentum over time. Develop decisiveness through repeated practice. Bold action is cultivated by making frequent decisions and following through promptly. Start with smaller choices to build confidence and refine judgment, gradually progressing to higher stakes decisions. Consistent practice strengthens the ability to act under uncertainty, reduces hesitation, and reinforces a mindset oriented toward proactive engagement rather than passive waiting. Minimize distractions that interfere with execution. Focused action requires undivided attention. Identify elements that disrupt productivity, whether digital, social, or environmental, and reduce or eliminate them. Streamlining attention ensures that effort is directed toward high-impact activities, allowing momentum to accumulate efficiently and without unnecessary friction. A concentrated approach accelerates outcomes and reinforces the habit of decisive movement. Maintain energy and stamina to support sustained action. Bold execution requires physical, mental, and emotional readiness. Prioritize rest, nutrition, exercise, and recovery routines to ensure that energy levels support extended effort. High energy enables consistent performance, sharp decision-making, and the capacity to maintain intensity throughout periods of focused action. Momentum falters when energy is depleted, so management of resources is essential for continuous progress. Embrace learning through action. Bold steps provide real-world feedback that accelerates skill development and strategic insight. Evaluate results, adjust methods, and integrate lessons learned to improve future execution. Action-based learning transforms experience into competence and ensures that each step forward contributes to mastery, confidence, and accelerated progress. Continuous learning sustains momentum and enhances effectiveness over time. Develop courage as a daily practice. Bold action is inseparable from courage, and courage strengthens through repeated exercise. Confront small challenges regularly, expanding the capacity to tackle larger, more complex objectives without hesitation. Courage amplifies momentum because each act of bravery reinforces the mind's expectation of successful action, reducing resistance and building self-assured decisiveness. Focus on solutions rather than problems. Bold action is fueled by attention on what can be done rather than obstacles that impede progress. Maintaining a solution-oriented mindset allows for swift movement, effective problem-solving, and uninterrupted execution. Concentrating on actionable steps creates forward energy, while dwelling on difficulties slows momentum and erodes confidence. Ultimately, taking bold action is the defining factor in building unstoppable personal momentum. Action transforms intention into achievement, overcomes inertia, and compounds into sustained progress that accelerates over time. Courage, decisiveness, consistency, adaptability, and focus combine to generate a force that propels forward regardless of obstacles. By integrating deliberate high-impact steps into daily routines and maintaining commitment even under pressure, momentum becomes self-reinforcing, creating a life where progress is continuous, purposeful, and unstoppable. Chapter 9. Embrace solitude to plan and grow silently stronger. Embracing solitude is one of the most powerful strategies for growth, clarity, and self-mastery. Time spent alone is not wasted. It is an investment in understanding yourself, reflecting on your actions, and designing the life you want to lead. In solitude, distractions fade, external expectations diminish, and the mind is free to think, plan, and strategize without interruption. It is in these moments that you can cultivate focus, develop discipline, and strengthen the inner resilience necessary to achieve extraordinary results. Solitude is not loneliness, it is the deliberate choice to step back, reset, and realign with your purpose. Begin by creating intentional periods of solitude. Allocate specific blocks of time where external communication is minimized and distractions are removed. During these moments, refrain from social media, messaging, or unnecessary interactions. The goal is to create a mental environment where thoughts, ideas, and priorities can emerge clearly. Regular practice deepens self-awareness and builds the capacity to think independently, make decisions confidently, and pursue objectives without external validation. Use solitude to reflect on past experiences and outcomes. Analyzing successes, failures, and patterns of behavior allows you to extract lessons that might otherwise be overlooked in the busyness of daily life. Reflection in quiet moments provides insight into what strategies worked, what needs improvement, and how you can adjust moving forward. This disciplined introspection strengthens judgment, sharpens decision-making, and ensures that every action is informed by wisdom rather than reaction. Plan strategically while alone. Solitude offers the mental space to organize priorities, clarify goals, and design actionable steps toward achievement. When external noise is absent, it becomes easier to think critically, weigh options, and develop long-term strategies. Planning in isolation allows for honest assessment of resources, capabilities, and potential obstacles, producing more precise and achievable action plans. The clarity gained through solitary planning increases efficiency and confidence when executing these strategies in the world. Cultivate mental clarity by disconnecting from constant stimulation. Modern life bombards individuals with information, opinions, and distractions that fragment attention. Solitude creates a refuge where the mind can settle, prioritize, and focus on meaningful objectives. Regular periods of quiet thought sharpen concentration, reduce mental clutter, and strengthen the ability to approach complex problems with calm, deliberate reasoning. The practice of disconnecting enhances both productivity and mental resilience. Engage in self-inquiry to uncover your values, desires, and motivations. Solitude allows the mind to explore questions about purpose, ambition, and long-term direction without interference. Ask yourself what truly matters, what drives you, and which areas of life require attention or change. Understanding your internal motivations ensures that actions are aligned with genuine objectives rather than external expectations or fleeting trends. Self-inquiry deepens authenticity and fosters alignment between thought, intention, and behavior. Use quiet moments to develop creativity and problem-solving skills. In solitude, the mind can explore possibilities, test scenarios, and generate innovative solutions without external pressure. Creative thinking often emerges when attention is uninterrupted, allowing connections between ideas to form more freely. By regularly setting aside time for reflective problem-solving, you strengthen mental agility and enhance your capacity to address challenges effectively in real-world situations. Embrace the discipline required to sit with yourself and your thoughts. Many avoid solitude because it exposes discomfort, uncertainty, or internal resistance. Developing the ability to remain present with your own mind cultivates patience, mental endurance, and emotional resilience. Facing your own patterns, fears, and doubts without distraction builds a foundation for disciplined action, confidence, and self-reliance that cannot be replicated through external engagement alone. Observe habits, behaviors, and thought patterns during solitary moments. Without the noise of others' opinions or societal pressures, you can evaluate which routines support growth and which hinder progress. Awareness of these internal patterns allows for conscious adjustments, replacing unproductive habits with practices that reinforce focus, energy, and achievement. Solitude provides a mirror to examine life honestly and implement changes that maximize effectiveness. Use quiet periods for skill development and learning. Solitude is ideal for uninterrupted reading, study, reflection, or practice. Concentrated effort during these periods accelerates mastery and reinforces discipline. When the mind is free from external obligations, you can explore complex concepts, refine skills, and integrate knowledge deeply. These intentional learning sessions compound over time, creating significant personal and professional advantage. Set goals and intentions in solitude. Articulating what you aim to accomplish provides clarity and establishes accountability yourself. Writing down objectives, creating timelines, and mapping actionable steps in quiet settings solidifies commitment and fosters a sense of purpose. Goal setting in solitude ensures that targets are authentic, precise, and achievable, laying the groundwork for effective execution in daily life. Practice mental rehearsal of actions and outcomes while alone. Visualizing desired results, rehearsing conversations, or planning responses to challenges strengthens preparation and confidence. Mental simulation allows you to anticipate obstacles, refine strategies, and internalize desired behaviors before engaging in real-world situations. Regular rehearsal in solitude enhances readiness, reduces hesitation, and ensures actions are deliberate and effective. Develop emotional regulation by observing feelings without immediate reaction. Solitude creates the space to notice frustration, anxiety, or doubt and respond with intentionality. Learning to experience emotions without acting impulsively strengthens patience, focus, and composure. Emotional control cultivated in quiet moments translates to better decision-making, clearer judgment, and improved resilience when facing external pressures. Use solitary reflection to track progress and measure growth. Regularly reviewing achievements, setbacks, and milestones in a quiet setting creates accountability and insight. Evaluating your trajectory enables the identification of strengths, gaps, and opportunities for improvement. This reflective practice ensures that momentum is maintained and that actions remain aligned with long-term objectives, reinforcing the habit of deliberate self-improvement. Establish rituals that reinforce solitary growth. Consistent practices such as journaling, meditation, walking, or focused study create dependable structures for reflection and planning. Rituals provide predictability, enhance mental clarity, and condition the mind to enter states of concentration and creativity automatically. Repeated engagement in these practices strengthens self-discipline and accelerates personal development. Balance solitude with purposeful engagement. While isolation is essential for reflection and planning, integrating insights and strategies into interaction with the world ensures that growth is applied effectively. Solitude is a tool for preparation, not avoidance. Applying lessons learned in quiet moments to real-world action creates tangible results and reinforces the value of intentional, strategic reflection. Embrace discomfort that arises during solitude. Sitting alone with your thoughts often brings awareness of internal resistance, unresolved issues, or uncertainties. Rather than avoiding these feelings, confront and process them deliberately. Addressing discomfort directly strengthens mental fortitude, emotional resilience, and self-trust. Regular practice reduces fear of introspection and enhances the ability to act confidently despite internal or external challenges. Use solitude to envision long-term objectives. Quiet reflection enables the mind to consider future possibilities, anticipate challenges, and plan proactively. By imagining the desired trajectory of your life and designing strategies for achievement, you align daily actions with ultimate goals. Long-term vision developed in solitude fosters motivation, provides direction, and strengthens commitment to consistent progress. Ultimately, embracing solitude allows for profound personal growth, strategic planning, and the cultivation of inner strength. Time alone creates clarity, reinforces discipline, and provides the mental space to reflect, learn, and innovate. By intentionally withdrawing from distractions and focusing inward, you develop resilience, sharpen judgment, and strengthen the capacity to act decisively. Solitude transforms potential into action, thought into strategy, and reflection into measurable progress, enabling you to grow silently stronger and prepare for achievements that others may not anticipate. Regular practice of intentional solitude ensures sustained personal development, deep focus, and the ability to navigate life's challenges with clarity, strength, and purpose. Chapter 10. Rise confidently until everyone notices your unstoppable progress. Rising confidently is the culmination of all the discipline, reflection, and action that has been cultivated over time. Confidence is not merely an emotion, it is the product of preparation, consistent effort, and demonstrated competence. When you act with clarity, purpose, and self-assuredness, momentum builds naturally, and your presence becomes unmistakable to others. True confidence is quiet yet undeniable. It does not require validation or attention, but emanates from a foundation of skill, resilience, and achievement. Rising in this way ensures that your progress is both visible and impactful, influencing your environment and inspiring those around you. Start by owning your achievements and capabilities. Recognize the skills you have developed, the obstacles you have overcome, and the consistent effort that has brought you to this point. Internal acknowledgement of competence is critical because self-doubt undermines both confidence and performance. Reflect on the challenges you have faced and the progress you have made to reinforce your belief in your ability to handle future opportunities with poise and effectiveness. Maintain consistency in performance and action. Confidence is reinforced through repeated success and demonstrated reliability. By consistently executing tasks, meeting commitments, and upholding standards, you build a reputation grounded in competence and trust. Momentum grows naturally when your actions align with your goals and values, creating a visible trajectory of progress that others cannot ignore. Each consistent effort amplifies credibility and strengthens personal authority. Project presence deliberately through posture, communication, and engagement. Confident individuals carry themselves in a manner that reflects inner stability and assurance. Speak with clarity, listen attentively, and maintain composure even in high-pressure situations. Body language and tone reinforce the perception of confidence, while the substance of your work validates it. When actions and presence align, the impact on observers is profound, and respect is earned naturally. Set clear, ambitious goals and pursue them relentlessly. Confidence is bolstered by direction and measurable progress. Define objectives that challenge you to grow, and take decisive steps to achieve them. Each milestone reached confirms capability and strengthens self-belief. Ambitious goal pursuit demonstrates determination to others and ensures that your upward trajectory is both intentional and undeniable. Embrace calculated risks to demonstrate initiative. Stepping into new opportunities and challenges with preparation and courage communicates competence and forward motion. Bold action reinforces confidence internally and visibly manifests progress externally. Risks taken strategically enhance learning, expand capabilities, and solidify a reputation for initiative and resilience. The combination of risk and execution accelerates personal growth and public recognition. Develop self-reliance as a core principle. Confidence emerges naturally when you depend on your skills, judgment, and preparation rather than seeking constant approval or guidance. Cultivating independence in thought and action reinforces decision-making, strengthens accountability, and fosters resilience. Self-reliance ensures that your progress is authentic, sustainable, and unmistakably your own. Communicate with authority rooted in knowledge and preparation. Confident individuals articulate ideas with clarity, logic, and conviction. Preparation and expertise underpin this authority, ensuring that communication is persuasive, credible, and impactful. Whether sharing insights, providing guidance, or presenting solutions, confident articulation reinforces personal influence and demonstrates mastery in both thought and execution. Maintain composure during challenges and setbacks. True confidence is evident not only in success, but also in how obstacles are navigated. Respond to adversity with calm determination, problem-solving focus, and strategic adjustment rather than panic or defensiveness. Resilient responses enhance credibility, reinforce self-assurance, and ensure that progress continues despite difficulties. Confidence observed under pressure is compelling and respected universally. Invest in personal development continuously to sustain growth. Confidence thrives on competence and skill expansion. Regularly enhance knowledge, refine abilities, and cultivate new capabilities to maintain an edge in both personal and professional arenas. Continuous learning not only reinforces internal belief, but also ensures that outward progress is visible, measurable, and respected. Ongoing development signals ambition, adaptability, and commitment to excellence. Practice deliberate decision-making and accountability. Confident individuals accept responsibility for choices and outcomes. By owning decisions and learning from their effects, self-assurance is strengthened, and trust is built among peers and observers. Accountability demonstrates integrity and reinforces the perception that progress is intentional, controlled, and unstoppable. Each decision executed with clarity and ownership compounds the sense of competence. Surround yourself with environments and people that elevate your growth. The company you keep and the spaces you inhabit influence confidence and performance. Engage with individuals who challenge, inspire, and support improvement. Create environments conducive to focused work, reflection, and skill application. Positive reinforcement from surroundings strengthens self-belief and accelerates progress in a visible and impactful way. Acknowledge and celebrate progress appropriately. Recognition of achievements reinforces confidence, provides motivation, and affirms that effort produces results. Reflect on milestones reached, obstacles overcome, and skills mastered. Celebrating progress reinforces momentum, strengthens internal validation, and ensures that your advancement is evident both to yourself and to others observing your journey. Project quiet authority rather than seeking attention. Confidence does not require boastfulness. It is demonstrated through competence, reliability, and decisive action. Let results speak for themselves, and allow your actions to create influence naturally. Observers will notice steady, effective progress, and respect will be earned organically through consistent demonstration of skill, focus, and impact. Develop mental resilience to sustain progress under scrutiny. As you rise, attention, criticism, or envy may emerge from others. Maintain focus on your objectives and refuse to be derailed by external judgment. Resilience reinforces internal confidence, allowing you to navigate public observation without hesitation or distraction. The ability to remain grounded under observation signals mastery and strength. Maintain clarity of purpose and values. Confidence is grounded in knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you aim to achieve. When actions are aligned with purpose, hesitation is minimized and momentum is sustained. Clear alignment ensures that progress is consistent, authentic, and undeniable to others, enhancing the perception of unstoppable growth. Visualize long-term success while executing present actions. Confidence grows when the mind is oriented toward both immediate steps and ultimate objectives. Visualization reinforces clarity, strengthens resolve, and ensures that every action contributes meaningfully to overall progress. The combination of present execution and future-oriented thinking creates a powerful trajectory that is observable and inspiring. Maintain focus on results rather than external validation. While recognition may naturally follow progress, internal confidence should not depend solely on approval from others. Focus on measurable impact, milestones achieved, and skills developed. By prioritizing results over perception, self-assurance becomes stable and self-sustaining, making progress both unstoppable and authentic. Mentor, guide, and inspire others as confidence grows. Teaching, sharing insight, and leading by example reinforce competence and establish authority. Helping others while continuing personal growth enhances credibility and demonstrates mastery in both action and thought. Leadership amplifies recognition of progress, creating an environment where your advancement is observed and respected by peers. Ultimately, rising confidently combines skill, discipline, resilience, and intentional action into a force that is visible, credible, and influential. Confidence is the natural outcome of preparation, persistence, and the consistent pursuit of meaningful objectives. By owning accomplishments, demonstrating competence, maintaining composure, and aligning actions with purpose, you create momentum that cannot be ignored. Others will notice, not because of self-promotion, but because sustained effort, strategic execution, and authentic achievement produce results that speak for themselves. Confidence becomes a silent authority that commands respect, inspires action, and ensures that personal growth is unstoppable, consistent, and evident to all.